Welcome to the bold analysis, and today I want to ask a bold question. But before I ask that question, I have an anecdote, a very short story. So yesterday I was in Makadara Law Courts, of course, just for hearing of a case there. So when we were just around that place, I overheard a conversation. It was among the people in uniform. Then they were like, I think they were asking, who am I going to vote for? Then someone was saying, I'm going to vote for Mafisi. So I was very curious, who is this presidential candidate who is Mafisi? I later came to realize that they were talking about Wajakoya. I don't know why Wajakoya is called Mafisi, but that tells you that Wajakoya does not only resonate with the youth. I think people are getting it wrong. Wajakoya also have the middle class with him, people who understand. Even though I am to be honest enough, I've never watched Wajakoya's debate, or maybe manifesto launch. I did not watch. I don't have an idea. I only know about the snake. I think someone also mentioned about the snake man. No, that was just an anecdote. I don't want us to spend time there. Is it a pointer that after the president met the Kikuyu Council of Elders from Kiambu, and the deliberations of that meeting leaked out because that's where the slapping narrative came through, the president is sending, or rather deputy president is sending Justin Muturi? Or what exactly is playing out? From where I am understanding, rather from where I'm seated here, what the mission of Justin Muturi with President Uhuru Kenyatta's family and the Council of Elders from Mount Kenya can be a cause of a future breakup with either Deputy President or Rigathi Gachagua. And mark this analysis. Mark this analysis, because there is more than what catches the eye. In my own perception, I've always said that there is a politician that goofed off the shackles from the shackles of power. That politician is Justin Muturi. Remember when the Council of Elders were meeting Raila Odinga, and there was a team that also met that took Raila Odinga to Mount Kenya. That took, I think, first 2 years before. I think that was the year. Then COVID came. Then 2021, bit of 2021, early 2021. Then after that, Justin Muturi was also endorsed as the Council of Elders. I can categorically say that if Justin Muturi was to remain with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the president was to go on reconciliation way, one of the cards that were on table for the president, if Martha Karua was not to catch the danger, the gender card, that person would have been Justin Muturi. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our video. I want to say this will be a very interesting analysis. Justin Muturi would have deputized Raila Odinga. He will be the running mate for Raila Odinga as we talk now. But because of miscalculation, things did not go well. Now, remember last year in June, there was a meeting, there was one in May, in Meru, during Cheke, and he was endorsed as the spokesperson. Then there was one at Mkurwe wa Nyagathanga Shrine. Mkurwe wa Nyagathanga Shrine is in Muranga. And he was again installed there as the spokesperson of Gema. But that event did not sit well with Mwangi wa Iria. Because according to Mwangi wa Iria, I think there was an understanding that Muturi was coming from minority. And of course, I know that in this video, there are people who understand a bit of the Gema leadership hierarchy well. They can tell us why Mwangi wa Iria was protesting. And another group of elders actually came to cleanse that shrine, that Mukuru wa Nyagathanga shrine, because according to them, it had been abused. One of the leaders that was so vocal against Muturi's coronation was Mwangi wa Iria, because Mwangi wa Iria is actually from Muranga. Now, that at that time, it was actually succession plans were underway. I don't know what happened somewhere, because he came over as a presidential candidate, then somehow things did not work. Now, what happened later is we saw this Council of Elders coming out to defend Muturi.
And you should know that Anembu is a Kikuyu as far as we are concerned. Ameru is a Kikuyu. We had the issues together, national issues. So we took Muturi to that place to visit his forefathers.
Lazima tuwe na mwenye ambaye sasa atasema hata tukikupea na wewe sasa utatuweka mahali gani. Sisi ndio tuna ile utajiri mingi, ndio tuko na kura nyingi, ndio tuko na kila kitu nyingi, biashara nyingi ni zetu. Kwa hivyo ni lazima tuogereshane na tujue ni namna gani. Wakikuja na mwingine, si tuko na tutaangalia na tutaenda kwa debe.
From where we sit as elders, we are trying to create a moral nation.
Now, that was the reaction of elders who were in defense of Justin Muturi's coronation. Now, recently, he also met Kikuyu Council of Elders, but this time round, not in Murang'a, but in Nyeri. Now, in that meeting, conspicuously missing was the deputy president, the running mate William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, who, despite number one, that the meeting of the Council of Elders was in Nyeri, where he comes from, he was conspicuously missing. Moses Kuria and the leadership, the young politicians around deputy president did not attend. Of course, maybe by design, or they were not invited. I see that meeting between Justin Muturi and the Council of Elders that are led by Uhuru Kenyatta's first cousin, retired General Muigai, Kungu Muigai. I don't know if it's Kungu or Kungu. And this is the same group that had also met William Ruto somewhere in Karen when the leaked audio came out. I see a man that is going there, as much as it can be perceived as trying to reach out to that group. But if you look at the meeting, because I watched the video throughout, and of course they speak in Kikuyu, so I don't understand. But I was looking at the turnout, the number of people who were there. They were very few. And of course, maybe because they're elders, they are perceived that they are going then to address the residents of the area. Now, I have a feeling that Justin Muturi might not be serving direct interests of deputy president, and these meetings might be something like it's a contingency plan he's putting up to make sure that he can take the reins of power of Mount Kenya, whether they form or they don't form government. Let me just tell you, Moses Kuria is with, and I'm just trying to borrow this from Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria is with William Ruto because my good friend Patrick will tell you, he wants Ruto not to win the presidency so that he can form an opposition with the Mount Kenya leaders that are going to be in UDA, or rather in Kenya Kwanza. He will run away with them and form an opposition front with them, whether there is joins Raila Odinga or something. So, I also see a man with a contingency plan, because I've always maintained that the presence and special role that Justin Muturi is doing in Kenya Kwanza is a mirage that perhaps not even William Ruto or other politicians there know. He is not in contestation for the speaker, not even any other legislative position you can see. He's not nominated anywhere. Do you think he's going for ambassador? Far from it. A ministerial position might also be far from it. I don't see him really in contestation for a ministerial position. But then, that is what he's doing there. Now, I want us to look at critical view, what could be his mission with Uhuru Kenyatta's family. When he was asked about what really they were doing with the elders in Nyeri, this was his response.
We came to put our heads together to try and consolidate our thoughts with regard to the political direction that we as a region and as a community should take. Since my friend is going to retire as constitutionally mandated, we our duty also to guide our community and take it to the direction that we think their interests are best catered for. And I am firmly of the view and belief that in Azimio, the interests of our community will not be taken care of. Those are just pretenders.
We don't force anybody to follow anybody. We just talk to our people, show them what we think is good for them. And I must state here that His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta is not running for office. He's just chosen to support somebody. And so we all have a right, like he has, to choose who to follow. When he runs for office, me as his brother, I stand with him all the time. But this time he's not running for office. So he has chosen who he wants to support. I am also free to choose who I want to support.
I want to tell you what is in Justin Muturi's diary. If he's meeting in his capacity as a representative of William Samoei Ruto, then I see a scheme by DP Ruto to use what could be emerging cracks in President Uhuru Kenyatta's family to reconcile, or rather in Uhuru Kenyatta's family, using those cracks for political gain. That someone was asking me, Kevin, do you think Uhuru Kenyatta's family supports Uhuru's decision? Then I just had a logical reasoning. Okay, as that firstborn, kuna wale watu wakupendangi. Of course, it's human nature. You cannot say that because Uhuru Kenyatta is a president, everyone else is with him. Of course, in the family, there are people who don't like him. For example, I'm not saying these are people are not with him. If you look at Kiambu, Uhuru Kenyatta's cousin Ann Nyokabi is on ballot as a running mate to Wajango, while Uhuru Kenyatta's party, as Jubilee Party, has a candidate, James Nyoro. So, and I'm just giving an example that people can have divergent opinion, and that is human nature. So there could be a possibility that Ruto pointed out a division, because this Kungumi guy, he's been against Raila, or the elders that support Raila for long. I remember some. Yes, so I remember that clip. He spoke during at a meeting in William Ruto's current residence, and this was a week after some elders had started campaigning for Raila. This is after they met Raila, I think somewhere in Bondo. Now, there could be some cracks, and it's human nature. And so William Ruto is just trying to reach out to the team that perhaps is against President Uhuru Kenyatta to get a backing. But that could also tie to that Ruto might be having a last minute behind the scene plot to reconcile with Mama Ngina. This dates back to 2013. And people in this country will tell you that it's not open, it's open, it's known in the public domain that Mama Ngina approached William Ruto, and there was a deal between Mama Ngina and William Ruto for him to support President Uhuru Kenyatta. If that was there, then at the time William Ruto is seeking presidency, the people that were around William Ruto attacked Mama Ngina badly. And during Uhuru Kenyatta's meetings in State House, Uhuru took a personal touch on that story, saying that nyinyi mnaona watu wanakuja wanatusi mamangu, mama ambaye hata hajai kuwa katika campaign. Now, Ruto might have realized that at least you need to mend ways, because you never know. Anyway, if Kenya Kwanza don't form government and Raila Odinga forms government, probably you might need some few friends around. And he's just trying to reach out to Kenyatta family for that reconciliation. Remember the last rally they had in Kiambu? It was coming a week after it had emerged that President Uhuru Kenyatta had started campaigning for Raila. And when they went to Kiambu, it's only Rigathi Gachagua who has a script of attacking Raila, of course, everywhere. That's what he does. But Muturi changed the tone, was saying, unaona mtu ametusi Uhuru? No one. So I see that as a possibility. But in his diary, there could be a plot to outsmart Rigathi Gachagua as the kingpin. I want to say this, that I am wondering why Rigathi Gachagua is not very close with the Council of Elders. Even the meeting at Karen that was attended by William Ruto, Moses Kuri, I think Muturi, Rigathi Gachagua did not attend. While I want to understand that if Ruto was to, if there is someone that was to get the blessings of the Council of Elders in Gema, that, if that person in Kenya Kwanza would be Rigathi Gachagua. But it has never happened. We saw Anne Waiguru, we saw Martha Karua receiving one in Kirinyaga. But why do you think that has not happened? My good friend Jackie will tell you that the Kiama team and the church council are not working in tandem. So you either choose one. You either go to the church for council or you go to the elders. And Rigathi seems to have chosen the church, and that is the direction he has taken. Now, I think Muturi is simply going through the elders route, so that in case of anything, he can also get his chunk. Ladies and gentlemen, that could also be a perceptional politics of perception, that of course the elders are supporting William Ruto, and that is my analysis on the bold. If you ask me, out of all those points, I think William Ruto is sending Muturi to reach out to Kenyatta's family.